The next step on the union side comes in 6 days' time, when the rail and engineering unions will hold a special conference to talk about further action if BR won't hold new negotiations on the future of its workshops.
A delegation from the works went to London by train again this morning to discuss ways of trying to save Shildon and 2 other railway engineering works from closure. A total of 3,000 workers, half of them at Shildon, are facing redundancy. Many of them received redundancy notices earlier this week. The unions say they're determined to save jobs.
The workers are due to celebrate a century and a half of wagon building in the town this year, but now they're banking on a change of government to save their jobs. A year ago, when British Rail first announced the closure, they won a reprieve, but it was short-lived. And 3 months ago, they learned all 2,000 workers would go within the next 18 months. This afternoon, the Shildon workers joined thousands of railwaymen from all over the country, protesting at proposed cutbacks. They marched to a rally in Central Hall, Westminster, before going on to the House of Commons.
This week, British Rail engineering workers from all over the country marched through London. Amongst them were men from the big wagon works at Shildon in County Durham, where 2,000 jobs face the axe. It's a battle involving the whole community.
Well, it's disastrous for the whole area, for Shildon itself, and for families. It's going to decimate families. My family, there's my father works here, I work here, my sister, and my mother works in the works canteen. And if it closes, we'll all be out on the dole with no future at all.
The unions at Shildon claim there is enough work for the men and that government grants available to their private wagon building competitors are denied to British Rail Engineering. The unions say that means the Shildon works are being financially squeezed out in favour of the private sector. Since the Shildon closure was announced, there's been a massive campaign by the unions with marches and rallies. They've had very effective publicity and got backing from local councils and the TUC. The workers at Shildon face a difficult dilemma. Should they stay or should they go? 700 have already volunteered for redundancy. The community's asking, are they giving in too easily?
We first brought up here, first steam engine, the lines come down here. But if the railway does close, the shops, they'll probably take away the line as well from Shildon right up to Darlington, which runs through Newton Aycliffe, Bishop Auckland. Well, once that's gone, a lot of people will miss the railways, but it was one of the first lines, the heritage line, to be put down at Shildon. It was one of your first railway lines put down, and that'll go as well. So Shildon will lose quite a lot of history as well.
Amongst those to take redundancy was the leader of Shildon Council, which is fighting to save the very works he left.
There was talk about if they didn't get voluntary redundancy, then it would be compulsory redundancy. And on the agreements of seniority, then as a very senior member, I would have obviously been able to claim to remain there, and a junior man who was a younger one, possibly with a family and many more years of work ahead of him, would have had to go.
County Durham's seen 100 closures since 1977. For a one-industry town like Shildon, losing the works would mean as much as 50% of the male workforce there would be on the dole. Similar campaigns have failed because too many took redundancy.
A couple of weeks or so on what's happened in our fight.
They're trying to stop that here.
There are some people who have gone out that I have no time at all for and wouldn't accept that they've done a good thing for Shildon at all. They've just cut and run, and they've cut and run to a situation that they have no jobs to go to, and I'm sure within a few months they'll be coming asking for some support from us, and I don't think we'll be able to give it.
What's the...
Frightened and confused,